footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, breaking down the BCS championship game between LSU and Alabama. Now let's start with the Tigers in this game to see what they have to do in order to win the national title.
Offensively speaking, LSU is a different offense when Jordan Jefferson entered the ball game. This guy does a great job of keeping the offense on pace as far as down and distance is concerned. As far as a passer, he's not as accomplished as Jarrett Lee, but he also isn't as scary as Jarrett Lee. When we talk about scariness in the pocket, we talk about a quarterback that shies away from contact, shies away from the pressure and the blitz, and Jefferson doesn't do that. Now, he holds the football entirely too long, and that leaves him up to getting sacked and getting interceptions. But as far as keeping the offense on pace with the ground game against Alabama, they're going to have to attack the outside against the Alabama defense. Alabama is stout up the middle. Force these guys to defend horizontally as far as in the running game, and they can have some success. Alabama struggled against Georgia Southern defending the option run, and that's a lot going to the outside. So if they can attack the outside linebackers in the running game as far as defending the option, they can have a lot of success. Defensively, defending Alabama sounds simple, but it's very tough. They have one of the best running backs in the country in Trent Richardson, over 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns, and they have a very good and underrated offensive line. Defensively, I look for the Tigers to play more tight man press and sending more blitzing at McCarron than usual. Reason being, there's only the one receiving target that's a threat out there in Marquise Mays. If he can't get open, then they struggle in getting the football downfield. So look for LSU to be more of a pressure style, blitzing type of attack versus A.J. McCarron than the first matchup.
Now let's take a look at the Crimson Tide of Alabama to see what they can do to win another national championship.
Alabama's offensive attack is one of the more disciplined attacks I've seen in the country. They don't beat themselves, and they execute flawlessly. Now, against LSU, I would stay in more spread formations. Quiet as kept, LSU struggles with teams that are able to spread them out. So you won't see as many condensed formations as we're used to seeing from Alabama, because that plays into the LSU strength as far as defending within the box. If they can spread these guys out, watch Trent Richardson have more running room, more opportunities to do damage, and that way you'll be able to take shots downfield to Mays and company. And I think that's going to bode well for A.J. McCarron, because he's going to be able to diagnose the blitz and pick apart the secondary. He's going to take advantage of the nickel and dime corners in the passing game, and that's what you want to do against LSU. Spread these guys out in 3 and 4 wide receiver sets and take your shots underneath with the third and fourth receiver, and that way you can have some advantages with the third and fourth corners. And that's how you get this LSU defense out of being aggressive into more coverage. And once they get into more coverage, then you'll be able to run the football more effectively with Trent Richardson. Defensively, Alabama had the right game plan against LSU to win the ball game. It just came up short in the special teams department. Now you look at where they can attack these guys, blitz heavy. That's what they did in the first matchup, and that caused a lot of problems for LSU's offense. Jefferson holds the football entirely too long. We mentioned that before. So look for Alabama to stay getting the blitz pressured up the A gap and B gap versus Jefferson, and getting a lot of tip passes at the line of scrimmage. Jefferson throws a lot of passes flatline, and they should be able to get a lot of tip, interceptions, and also sacks against that Tigers offense. And it's all about front loading the running game, crowding that box. And if they can crowd the box against LSU, they shut down the run, and you put the Tigers in backed up situations in which they will be forced to pass, and that plays into the strength of Alabama, which I think is their coverage units. I'm going with LSU in this ball game. Reason being, that guy right there, Tyrann Mathieu, being the X factor in the special teams department. I think that's where the advantage lies for LSU. In this rubber match, you look for LSU to make big plays in the special teams aspect and come away with a nice victory. And I think which quite possibly could be one of the best championship games we've seen in a while. And honestly, I think this game will have more points scored than we seen in the first matchup, which is easy to do since it was only 9-6. But look for these two teams to play one of the more classic football games in the last decade.
More college football previews, visit footballgameplan.com/collegefootball or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Follow me on Twitter at FBallGamePlan, and listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.